Uh, what is up, guys? No countdown today. We get straight into it because I have my brother Anthony from Inter Worldwide to go through this 2-2 draw. Inter versus Napoli, the big game that I was saying cancel. If you've got a wedding to go to, cancel it. If you've got a birthday to go to, cancel it. Was it worth it, Anthony? Was it worth canceling those big events for this matchup?
If you've got sleep in Australia, cancel it. Yes, sir. It was good to see a good confident Inter show up, which I knew that we would show up in the first phases of the match. Federico Di Marco continues his purple patch of just being everywhere in terms of what his area needs to be and what he's meant to command. He's kind of doing a bang up eight and a half out of 10 out of job, 8.5 out of 10 job at the moment. But this was just yet another big game where I could see it coming from a mile away. And like I said off camera, when Hakan scored that pen, well, not only did I not celebrate because, like I said, the muscle part of where we concede was about to start. You know, we scored the pen on the 72nd minute. I looked at the clock and I went, "Oh, this is the exact time where we are going to sit back and absorb everything with a weak mentality." But more so, I couldn't really celebrate much because I actually had it in my head that he was not going to score. Hakan against this Milinkovic Savic, I just thought to myself, no, this one's getting knocked right back into the field of play. But when he scores it, it's the hope that kills you, isn't it, chat?
Yeah.
Isn't it, chat? Come on, tell me it's not the hope that kills you, because that's what it was. I started getting like the actual butterflies. Like it's like you're a kid again, bro, and like you meet a girl you like for the first time, or the first day the new FIFA drops when you're 16 years old or 30 years old, whatever it is. But it's the hope that kills you in the end. And then I finally, for the first time this season, I'm guilty and I'll put my hand up and say it, the first butterflies started, and then they were squashed within 6 minutes by Scott McFucking Chicken Nuggets, bro. Like, I can't believe this guy. He's got like a 3.5-year stint of scoring goals, where I'm saying before he even scores the goals, Scott McSauce is going to score a goal. And there he is, literally.
Like, I think this is like third or fourth goal against us, bro, since he's come to Italy.
Bruv, it definitely has to be at least the third, because he scored before and he banged two tonight. Like, it's
he scored that banger in the first game this season from that counter attack. Then today twice, and then he scored off the corner last season. Remember,
brother? Like, unbelievable. But like, I can't. I'm looking forward to getting into it with you in depth, because I love how you cover the in-depth stuff. I do the little bit more emotional, impulsive stuff. So it's been a while since I managed to sit down and catch up. Albeit we were meant to do a preview, but to be honest, if we can get together for post-match stuff and be there for each other, it's even better.
Exactly. We're here for each other, but also here for all of you guys. And as Mattia always reminds us in the chat, thank you, Mattia. And thank you to everyone that's in the chat. 156 people. Please make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And of course, subscribe to Inter Worldwide and the Muslim man next to me, Anthony. Bro, okay, let me get some positivity out of the way, Anthony. I know we're going to get to some doom and gloom, as people are saying. There's a lot of doom and gloom in the chat, Otis Mo says. First of all, we didn't lose a big game, so can we celebrate that we didn't lose a big game? That's a step up, so we'll take that. Second, positive, I am disappointed with the result. We'll get into that, but we remain top of the league because Fiorentina, out of all people, managed to get a result against Milan, and they should have won in the end. They hit the crossbar in the last minute. That was crazy. You didn't expect that, right, Anthony? I was going to say Mattia.
Bro, like I was trying really, really hard to stay awake for that one. That was the 1 a.m. kickoff in Sydney. Our game was the 6:45, and I was like, if I can pull it together to watch the Milan game, I'll easily sleep through the Inter game. But I clocked out before that. But when I woke up and saw that score, I'm like, no, not to this bummy Fiorentina. No. And then I checked it and I saw the minute that they scored again, Milan. I'm like, those jammy see you next Tuesdays, man. They should be 2 points less on the on the ladder at the moment, considering their last two games. But yeah, man, Max, and that's again, bro. Max was starting to shake, and I can't even wait to get into this part with you. You want to know what it was, Zio, for me? You want to know what the sure sign find for me that the tide was turning? Conte lost his shit. The tide was turning. Yes. He was packing it up. He was packing it in. He was gone for all money. And that's when I said to myself, I'm like, if that's him on the field tonight, he won't chase 7 points, 8 points to us. I was ready to kick these bums out of the title race because look at him, bro. He was finished. He was rattled. We had him done. We had him finished.
And did you see?
Give me 1 second.
Did you see Bastoni when he got sent off? He was like, "Come on, G'ing up the crowd. Come on." I thought as well. I was like, "Yes, this is it. This is when we win the Scudetto." And
yeah, Bastoni having yet another bummy game. We'll get to that in a sec.
Yeah, no, 100%. Thank you, Eduardo, for the donation. Positivity FC remains positive. Yeah, no, I am definitely not too bummed out about this result. What I'm bummed out, as Anthony said, is you go ahead twice and you get caught twice by Scott McTominay as well. And that second half, especially the first 15, 20 minutes of that second half, I think the first half, Inter were the better team. I think we created more. We looked good. Napoli didn't do too much. But again, when they don't do too much, that's the thing that still bugs me about this Inter, though, where we don't look like the team that can do less than the other team and win a game. We always have to be the team that does a lot more. Like our pressing was a lot more than Napoli's. Our passing was a lot better than Napoli's. Everything was more than Napoli. But then as soon as you get near the box, then it all just fails. Whereas Napoli, everything was one step behind Inter. But as soon as they got, we were worried every single time. And as soon as they got to Scott McTominay both times, we knew that it was curtains. But overall, as I said, I like the way Inter played. But again, in a big game, you just can't trust this Inter. That's what I'm really worried about, this Inter team. But again, I'm not the performance, Anthony. To me, probably the only performance I wasn't happy with this whole season was Napoli the first time round. Today, I feel like Napoli also deserves some credit in the way that they came out in the second half. What do you think?
It's a team run by Antonio Conte. You could see even when he was sent off, he was still probably louder where he was on the pitch than wherever he needed to be, man. It wasn't a bad game. And now again, we can say, I think it was you that said it. I was watching some sort of content. It had to have been your content. Maybe it was Haj's content. I'm not too sure. But no one has really come away from Inter's games this season at all going rubbish, garbage game. There haven't been any games apart from the Napoli one. But that was more so like we decided to drop our heads when we had a bad call go against us in the, what was it? Are you talking about the Supercoppa or the Serie A match, the return?
The Serie A one.
Yeah. Well, we were on top for 42 minutes. We had a bad call go our way, and then we just ran to the hills and cried and didn't play football again for the rest of the match. Today, the second half felt like something similar to that. Like the way Napoli came out in that second half at San Siro today, like they were possessed, man. Honestly, like they were possessed. And Conte knew the value of getting out with here a point today. He's a cockroach, bro, in a sense that he'll survive and thrive. And if he got out of here today, all he needed was a chance. And a chance is what we gave him, and a chance is what he took. And now he can go and breathe and play his next match at home. We had a chance to really, really impact the title race tonight because that result that we got against Bologna was not an easy result. We played exceptionally well to close that game out. Now that I look at it, going back, we've even the match against, was it Parma as well that we played recently? Yeah, Parma. These were not easy games to close out for our mentality, and we did. And tonight was really a chance not only for all the fans to be convinced and be happy, but this was a chance for the players to go into the locker room and go, yo, we really trust each other to get this done now. And I guess it's a good thing that our next fixture is a slightly more favorable one, but those are very famous last words because Lecce are Lecce. They will do Lecce things like get a big, disgusting 1-1 draw that's paying $11 before kickoff. So everybody jump on that, man. But we need to reassert ourselves now because maybe we'll talk about the title race a little bit more later on. But now we can be that team that feels sorry for ourselves, or we can be that team that goes and gets back-to-back 6 points, Lecce, Udinese, and at least fits the stereotype of let's go and beat the smaller teams. Shout out Patrick Kendrick.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick Kendrick, coming straight after his commentary. He's coming through the channel. That's very, very nice of him. But I agree with Patrick in terms of, I've always said, to me, I'm putting Napoli I'm putting them as the Scudetto contenders with Inter. I'm not putting Milan there, but I'm talking by just a shade because obviously Milan have that one game a week. So today, like you said, Anthony, if we beat these guys, it would have been a big statement to the Scudetto race and also to Napoli themselves, to Antonio Conte, that we are the best team in Italy. Again, when you look at it like aesthetically on the eye, we still look like the best team in Italy. Like when you watch Interplay, like you just said, when you mentioned Haj's content, again, today, if you're a neutral, you're watching this game, you're like, how is this Inter team not winning the Scudetto? Again, if they don't win it again, it's like, we look superior, but that's not enough in football. That's just not enough. And that leads me to the question for you, Anthony, that a lot of people are discussing in the chat that we need to talk about. Their big player, Scott McSauce, 4 goals and 4 against us. Big step up when the big games, when they matter. Like last time round, it was Anguissa. Remember, Anguissa had put his balls on our midfield last time round. Where was Barella today? Where was Lautaro Martinez today? Where were the big players, Anthony? I mean, Hakan as well. He scored a penalty, but, where are these big players again in a big game flopping?
Where was Bastoni? He looked so scared. Where was Thuram? He looked lazy. Hakan didn't look visible. It was just a game where
say turned out, because he was the one that won the ball back for that first goal we scored.
Sorry, what was that?
McTominay off the ball and created the goal, the first one.
You're talking about Thuram?
No, Zielinski.
Zielinski, yeah. Zielinski was fine. Obviously not as impactful, but he did contribute to that goal. But Napoli is going to be a much tougher opponent. Like, we knew this was going to come down to the wire. We knew it was going to come down to fine margins, but those fine margins can be nullified if your big players rise to the occasion. And we're still walking away.
House, by the way.
We might have walked away with at least 1 point, but none of those players contributed today at the level that we needed them to. And had they did, Zio, I think that we'd be sitting here tonight with 3 competition points, Napoli with 0, and looking at a title race and looking at a ladder that goes, I think we might have just eliminated a team out of the title race. It might be down to 1 to 1.5 teams left. But yeah, tonight was just going off what you said before. Aesthetically, we might be the best team to look at and whatnot, but to someone who knows Serie A very well, to someone who's passionate about Italian football, which is both of us here, if you watch that game today, just that isolated game with no prior knowledge to who the teams are, where they sit in the table, and who plays what brand of football, even if you did look at it and go, Inter's playing better football, you'd look at that and go, that Napoli team is a Scudetto winning team. That's what you would do. I guarantee it. You take all bias away and just watch those 94 minutes from an Italian perspective, from a hustle and a grind perspective. You go away from home, at home. Antonio Conte gets sent off with a red card. They come back, scrape out with a draw. That was a Scudetto winning performance from Napoli today. We just know what lies on the horizon for them as defending champions. They're grinding things out. They've got a long list of injuries. They've got their rotational games for Europe coming up. I mean, had Napoli been on points level with us, or maybe 1 or 2 points ahead tonight and grinded that out, I think a lot of people would be sitting here going, just tattoo them for the title this year, because this is grind time for them, and they're getting it done in a time where they should be dropping points. Napoli, I don't want anyone to get it twisted. I know we can still go in after today going that it is positive. We maintained a lead over them. Napoli were there for the taking today. Napoli were there to almost kill off. They were sort of sinking in a pool. And rather than go over and stick a hose in their mouth, we decided to pull them out and dry them off a little bit. And that's sort of the difference. Yeah.
No, I agree. And yeah, like Ian Kerr, shouts out to Ian Kerr and the Kerr Mafia. Our centre-backs as well. Kanji, I've been singing his praises recently. It doesn't take anything away from his season that he's having Inter. But today, I feel like I have to take some criticism, because I have to take an L on this one, because I've been criticizing Højlund, that I didn't think he was having that much of a good season or that much improvement. But he looked good to me today, Anthony. Like, his hold-up against Akanji, he was winning a lot of those duels.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, as I was watching Akanji today and he was putting in his second poorish performance, not poorish, but like last game he was good, but there were a couple of moments where I think, it was the Bologna game, where when I was watching it back, I'm like, ooh, Akanji might need to hold up his hand for part in that goal there. But, all is well that ends well. We'll turn away. And then I saw your shot that you put up, and I did actually think, I go, This has got jinx written all over it, man.
There was a guy who commented. I was like, I'm talking about his general. Like, I'm not saying anything, but
I know, and it just goes to show I've copped it all season and the starter part of last season, which is why I'm just saying I don't care if I sound harsh. I'm just not complimenting any players at all for the rest of the season. You're basically guilty until proven innocent from now on, because I'm just going to jinx you. It's not their fault. I don't blame Akanji for today. I blame the fans for getting optimistic about it.
It's like when I remember I was apologizing to Hakan, and I was like, and then he ended up like making 2 mistakes back to back afterwards.
Oh man. But no, today Højlund, he's man, if you really want your career to take off, go to Manchester United so that they can make you feel less than what you're worth, and then you can go and springboard again in any other direction. But he's done very, very well. And I dare say, man, like when Romelu Lukaku comes back, whenever that might be, because that's looking a little bit weirder than it was meant to be. You know, Conte might actually have a tough task on his hand, choosing a 75% Rom who might come back a little bit on the chunky side versus a very, very agile, lanky, mobile, sharp, focused Rasmus Højlund. But a luxury that he will want rotating between European fixtures too.
Yeah, 100%. So the back line today, I was not convinced with either of any of those guys. I know Bastoni gets a higher rating here from football because of the algorithm. He probably completed a lot of passes, maybe some defensive contributions here, long balls completed. But if you watch the game, he's won most of his duels according to this. But if you actually watch the game, like the first goal, him and Luis Enrique were very passive on the. Actually, do you want to go through some of the goals? Because I got the screenshots for the goals that we conceded.
Go for it.
So, so this is the first one. So this is from the bird's eye view. Let me actually go on this one. So on the left-hand side, Bastoni and Luis Enrique, 2v2, that's Elmas and Spinazzola, way too passive. Spinazzola just passes the ball between them two, and then Elmas has acres of space to cross it in. Bisek doesn't block the cross, but then Zielinski loses McTominay. Great movement by McTominay, and then Akanji doesn't also see him coming through. But is there any blame on Sommer? I see a lot of people blaming Sommer in the chat as well.
Sommer can do a little better, but at the end of the day, adjust your expectations accordingly. He's old now. He's old. You're not going to get springy performances from these goalkeepers when they hit a certain age. Now, I know a lot of people are calling him Handanovic 2.0 a little bit more lately, but this is one time where I'll actually counter what people think I would say and go, guys, I just really need to remind you just how bad Handanovic got at the back end of his career. He was letting in preschool, elementary stuff everywhere. Sommer's just being put in compromising positions now where what he used to be able to save 60% of the time and what we expect him to save 51% of the time, he's probably saving about 30% of the time at the moment. So anything to do with close range, anything to do with adjusting his position, even if it means minority to near post, I got no faith anymore because he's reached a certain age. Agility dies out, reaction time dies out. You really need to be putting in younger goalkeepers whose brain is just cognitively running at a more at a more consistent ticker than Jan Sommer, who in his head might not be 100% all there in the match. Unfortunately, we did have that incident with Josep, and I guarantee you that it is contributing to him getting regular minutes. And I just can't wait. I just cannot wait for him to be integrated in this side because, yeah, I do want Sommer to be dropped. But I'm going to have to agree with Mattia here. I am sick to death of conceding some of these goals, man, because some of the we have got majority men marked all the time. We let them go all the time. The second one was even worse than this, but we've always got bodies there. We just lack focus every single time. Pisses me off.
Yeah, I just think there, definitely it's on Akanji in a way, but it's that Zielinski has to call the man. Akanji can't know that McTominay is coming there. He's got Højlund right behind him, so he's marking Højlund in his head. He does not know that McTominay is coming. So maybe, obviously, he should be maybe having a quick look. But Zielinski there, again, we know that defensively he's not the greatest. He has to do something more there to let Akanji know that he has to follow McTominay there. But yeah, that's McTominay as well. Like the movement, he's got the movement of a striker in the box. None of our midfielders will move like that. Fratesi is the only one that's got that ability to do what McTominay just did there which looks easy, but it isn't. And yeah, on Zomer, maybe. I mean, on this view, the ball is like right underneath him, near post. I get it. We want our goalkeeper to at least be making big saves. That's the thing we have with Zomer now. It's like we don't even expect him to make decent saves anymore, and that is Handanovic 2.0 now. The way you were talking about him there, Anthony, is like you have no expectation either on this guy anymore.
That's
That's bad. Like the starting goalkeeper of Inter, and you don't even have any expectations of him. So
I don't see why he would improve. I think that once you reach a certain age in a goalkeeper, and once you show a certain amount of form, you've regressed big time now. It's not like
by the way, Jose Martinez was injured for today's game, so he wasn't even an option. But we know that he wouldn't have started anyway.
Exactly right, man. So we're probably going to have to go into the market for a goalkeeper at the end of this season, to be honest, because I don't know how many years Sommer's got left on his contract. No, actually, I think he's one of the ones that's expiring. He should be.
Yeah, he's expiring this season.
Yeah. So he'll be gone at the end of this season. So we're going to need a goalkeeper. Whether we plan to bring up Martinez to the first choice and get another backup, I'm not too sure. But yeah, and this is why we still can't get excited. Like people say, like, yeah, we're on top, but we're going to have to do a lot to get to a major trophy. We're going to have to do a lot if we're going to get to the Scudetto at the end of this season. This does not look like a group of players that can close out a Scudetto running season.
But let me ask you this, Anthony. After what happened at the end of last season, did you expect Inter to be a match day 19? So we are officially at, I know that Inter have to play Lecce actually for the official first half of the season to be played.
That's right. We've still got a game in hand, don't we?
Yeah. We have that Lecce game we have to play. But we are technically 19 games. That's the halfway point. And we are 3 points top, Anthony. After what happened last season, after hiring Kivu, be real with me. Did you expect us to be here with the summer transfer that we were all disappointed with as well?
No. The answer is no. It's not. But at the same time, man, but a lot of teams could say this. I was going to do the whole classic, imagine we didn't drop such and such. Imagine we didn't drop such and such. But then again, every team can nitpick fixtures, any fixtures they want, and say, what if we didn't do this? What if we didn't do that? It's about the overall picture. There's still plenty of time for fans like myself to be proven wrong. It's just when the repeated mistakes keep occurring, and we're still playing catch up from the Supercoppa loss in January 2025. That loss to Milan started, basically pierced the big hole in the ship, and it's been sinking since then. Mentality wise, big game wise, we are still yet to win a big game since that day. And no, Atalanta is not. So isn't Bologna. So isn't Roma. These are really, really hard games. These are the hardest games outside of the big head-to-heads. The hardest. And yeah, we've taken care of those business. And I've acknowledged that it is hard to do, very hard to do. On top of that, you're getting rid of the minnows as well. But opportunities like this really don't come around very often, man. I'm still looking at the table right now at the corner of my eye, and I'm like, shit, that was a much sexier flip. If they did not get that second goal around, I'd be looking at that right now going, Conte with a red card, couple of game suspension. They've got Parma as well coming up as well. Napoli look like a little bit of burnt toast, but they're still pretty fresh, bro. So we go again next match day. Not too much lost. Expect Juve to get 3 points tomorrow. And then even though we've got the game in hand, they are well and truly in this title race, man. Spalletti is getting Juve quietly geared up for a title race in the background.
Yeah, he did say that when he joined Juve, people laughed at him, and he said we should be part of the Scudetto race. And slowly, catchy monkey, he's getting there. Let me go through the second goal, Anto. This one, Barella giving us shades of the Champions League final on when he didn't block that ball from going out. You remember which goal I'm talking about? So the ball was floated, and Bisek didn't manage to get a header. So mistake there a little bit from Bisek. But then Barella can't let that ball go to Noah Lang. Like, he just needs to kick it out for a corner, block it. Like, he needs to do something. He decided to just let Noah Lang put it back in. And then again, who should be marking McTominay, who's completely free? Is it Akanji again? Is it Bisek, who looks like he's in no man's land now? There's plenty of blame to go around. This one I can't blame Zomer on. I know he's doing the mannequin challenge, the Handanovic laser eye save, whatever you want to call it. But that was a good finish from McTominay. What are you saying about this goal, Anto?
I say that watching it back, it was just like it was like watching it happen in slow motion in real time. I was just shaking my head. I'm like, this is schoolboy stuff. All I can see are more black and blue shirts in the box. How are we making sure that these guys almost look like they have a double man advantage all the time? Someone has got to get to that. There is just way too much ball watching. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bastoni also looks like he's ball watching, but it's awful. It's awful all around stuff. And towards the end of the match, when you're trying to close this out and gain momentum in the Scudetto race, you're right. You should be belting that ball into any row possible, knowing
yeah,
too well that any dead ball grabs you 15 to 20 seconds in this situation. This is what I don't understand, man. And I think it's something that we do not do well enough as well. We ball watch a lot. We almost just
yeah,
wait for the luxury option to happen. Whether it's long balls coming through, whether it's far post options, we ball watch and we wait for easy things to happen. But that's not how it works. In that situation there, if you belt it out, you add 20 more seconds. Then you just got to keep the set piece out. You add 20 more seconds. These seconds do not get added on as much as people think unless the referee needs to blow a whistle and redirect play. A lot of when the ball goes out, it's still sort of considered passage of play unless there is legitimate ball wasting and time wasting. We made sure that the ball stayed in play there. Like it's just keeping the ball in play with that amount of time left when you're just trying to protect a lead it just makes no sense to me whatsoever.
yeah, yeah. No, I 100% agree, Ian. I think I would put majority of this blame on this goal on Bisek and Barella for letting it happen in the first place, because afterwards it was, yeah, they were just caught out. But it wasn't. There was other moments as well with Napoli. Like sometimes I think with Inter fans, we kind of just focus on our chances alone. There was that massive chance for Rasmus Højlund at the beginning of the second half, where like Milinkovic-Savic just punted the ball up. Did you see that one? He just literally punted the ball up, and Rasmus Højlund had like all the space in the world, and he brushed the post actually on the replay. I didn't realize it looked a lot wider, but then the slow mo replay they showed he brushed the outside of the post. So Napoli had their chances as well. It wasn't like one of those. It wasn't like the Milan derby game where Inter dominated and created all the chances and Milan had won, and that's it. Napoli, where I think the draw was the right result today, Anto, in my opinion.
The draw is definitely the right result at the end of the day, but I don't mean to be aggressive when I say this, but sometimes you need to be that gritty C word and go what the right result is, man. We've got an opportunity to run away with the points here. I don't give a shit what the right result is. You need to be the worst human beings on the pitch in that situation and go, we're keeping these 3 points. We're guarding it with everything we've got, like it's the last cans of food in a zombie apocalypse, man. That is how champion teams win. That is how things get grinded over the line, man. How many examples in football history do you need of people just doing unthinkable things to get results? And yeah, I know this isn't a World Cup final and you can't say racist things like Materazzi is. It's not a Euro final, so you're probably not going to choke someone a la Chiellini Saka. But you've got an opportunity here to C-word it up, to make sure that Napoli walk out of there with Antonio Conte in the dressing room at the end of the game going, far out, man. I even lost the mental fight today, and I haven't lost a mental fight in a long, long time. But we didn't do that because we are historically nice guys. We are historically those sort of guys, and you know we are Zeal. You know we don't stamp on necks for a living, and I hate that.
No. I mean, yeah, our nickname in Italy is the Bene Amata, like the team that, oh yeah, those guys, yeah, we love them. They're just well, we're definitely not the Bene Amata anymore. Everyone hates us now. We've become the team that Milan, Juve, and Napoli fans all hate on us combined. But we always used to be like the team that, oh yeah, Inter, we don't mind those guys. They're all right. Oh yeah, there was that massive chance as well from Di Lorenzo, completely free header. He got it completely wrong, but that was a massive chance for Napoli as well.
Yeah. We're lucky he's really shit.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, and there was another comment that I want to get up. I mean, how many times have I seen this comment, Anthony, in my chat over the last like year or so? We had this conversation. How many times have we had this serious conversation?
Trust me, Eduardo. Even I've had it for the last month on my channel, man. It's being had. I started having it around about November, and if I started having it, there were people having it before me, bro. That's one of my biases. I literally had to kick to the side because the conversations are being had, bro. They are being had. I really liked, like I said in my short for Parma was the last game. It was Parma was the last game, yeah, not Bologna.
Yeah. When he came on as a sub, he was great.
Yeah, ballsy, brilliant, but probably easier decision than any other manager from Conte to Inzaghi to Kiev to bench Bastoni and Barella for that game. And he would have loved the fact that he could hide under the rotation card and go, no, we're rotating them for Napoli. He would have looked at that and gone, holy shit, I've got a reason to bench these guys, man, because they have been bang average, man. Benching Bastoni and Barella against Parma did not hit anywhere near as hard as those two boys should have it believed that it would hit. And that should be confronting for them. It should be confronting to them. That was an easy decision for Kiev to rotate and bench those guys. If that was Inzaghi or Conte, F the fact that you've got Napoli in 80 hours. Those two guys are playing against Parma, and you know it, bro. Everybody knows it. These two guys have not been benched for anything in the last 4.5, 5 years, all the way back to Conte and Euro 2020. They have not been benched. Kiev will bench them well. And tonight they showed once again that given an opportunity again, Christian's going to bench them again, cuz.
Yeah, I think if Zielinski had better lungs and better stamina, he wouldn't have been taken off today. I think that's the only reason Barella stayed on the pitch, because he had the
well said. Well said. I agree. I completely agree.
Because Zielinski showed the thing is Zielinski's now showing things that I didn't even know he had in his game, like the way he won the ball for a few times when we were pressing high. Zielinski showing things that I'm expecting of seeing of Barella. That's the disappointing thing with Barella. It's like we're seeing this regression in a lot of things. Apparently he had 3 shots.
We can never have it every way. It's always Thuram, Lauti, Thuram, and a midfielder, one in, one out form wise. We can we're never having conversations about like a bubble of players that are in form and connecting very well. And you know what? I got to say one thing. Luis Enrique, once again, was not bad tonight, was not poor. And he was nowhere near a dull bet. But once again, it was like just so often, so many periods of time where I'm like, oh yeah, he was on the pitch again. And it's just another match where you realize the presence physically, mentally, and momentarily of Denzel Dumfries, man. We missed the guy. We actually missed the guy. Zio, we'd have a few extra competition points with Denzel Dumfries in this team this season.
Yeah, I mean, the Denzel I seen at the start of this season wasn't great, to be honest, Anto, but definitely more than this Luis Enrique. Yeah, he's just giving these 6 out of 10 performances where you can't even be mad at him, but then you're also like, especially when he goes forward, it's like he's confusing. He's supposed to be good going forward, but not defensively. But actually, he's been very solid defensively. Maybe not so much today. But as soon as he goes forward, he does these random crosses where like no one's in the box. He will just cross it in just randomly. He's a really confusing player at the moment. By the way, I think this was the only good Barella moment where he did that cross from that half space that he likes to cross from, where Thuram got the header towards goal. That was probably the only standout moment from Barella today.
Yeah. I like the comment by Caleris on the side there, because I had this conversation with Gabe on my channel. I think I do like Mickey as an impact sub, man. He's such a high IQ, intelligent footballer. When you, I think we've even had conversations like this before about certain players. When you downgrade someone like Mkhitaryan's minutes from 90 minutes a game to 25 minutes a game at his level of physical fitness, at his level of game adaptability, at his level of footballing IQ. I'm not saying he's like a new signing, but you add elements to your game and your game plan that you did not have before. Mkhitaryan for 20 minutes is a fantastic asset in all elements of the game. Chasing the game, holding a game, protecting a game. Every single element of the game can be benefited and valued and beneficial from bringing in Henrik Mkhitaryan for 20 to 25 minutes. I would bring this guy in every single game, no matter what the scoreline. 5-0 lead, chasing 3 goals, anything at all, you bring in Mkhitaryan there. And this is just another example to us. Like if we were to be able to feed anything into this midfield and just get it clicking a little bit more, have a couple more players on form, it would just be ticking a bit better, Zio. We're not that far off a really, really good product. I just can't see us unlocking that next element, man. It's like we've hit an unlockable level in a way.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I'm happy that Mickey was the one that won the penalty, because if you remember, he was the one that gave away that very soft penalty that Napoli had in the first game. The fact that he was the one to win it, almost like a little revenge for Mkhitaryan from that moment, to win the penalty, which was a clear stamp from Rahmani. Also, let me give a quick shout out to Hakan. Of course, he missed the last penalty against the Milan. So his record is still impeccable, I would say. I mean, 2 penalty missed and now over, I think, over 20 penalties that he's taken that Inter. That's still an amazing record. But he shaved it close, Anto. I didn't realize until they showed the replay it was posting in. I thought it was just a easy one in the side netting, but actually it was posting in. I don't know if you did you have any doubts when he stepped up?
Do you want me to actually tell you what was going on in my house during this penalty? Well, you thought I watched that penalty? Come on, cuz, you know me. I didn't watch that shit. As soon as we got given that penalty, I'm like, this is a great time to let Vince out and just open up the doors and stuff like that. So I just quickly walked out, waited a good amount of time, enough time to know that by the time I walk back and see the TV, the ball's either going to be in play or there's going to be a bunch of people celebrating with fans. And I just went, saw us celebrating with fans, quickly checked my phone, watched it, and just backspaced it. And I was like, yeah, good penalty, because he knew he had to stretch it a body length and a half. Hakan knew it. He goes, this is getting saved unless I really pristine it and send him the wrong way. And I think Milinkovic-Savic, after watching Hakan nervously this season, would have definitely said, this guy's going bottom right, my right, his left. Because even I, when the penalty got given and I walked outside, all I could think of in my head, he's going to put it really low, really hard, Hakan's bottom left, and it'll be up to Milinkovic-Savic to get to it. But perfectly done. Hakan does the opposite of what everybody's thinking, the actually opposite, because what's it called? Power-wise, you can't hit in that direction the way he could in the left-hand side. So he's done very, very well there. We just didn't do well to close it out again.
Oh no. Footy Judge Mo is in the house, so shout out to him. Make sure you check out his live watch along. Unfortunately,
bro, he's hilarious, man. You see him react. I love watching him react, bro.
No, I need to go back and watch it.
Bro, you have to. Just the faces he makes, man. Like the bro, I feel it so much, bro.
This guy is unreal. Yeah, make sure you check out Footy Judge Mo for all his content. But yeah, let's speak on as well. I know. How many times have we spoken about Lautaro, especially in big games? Another big match flop from Lautaro. Basically did nothing all game. There was a couple of nice little win backs that he did, some fouls that he won, but how many games can you? I mean, Mattia posted a stat. I think it was 0 goals in the last 8 big games. I mean, this has become a certainty now. Lautaro in big games, almost the conversation is long drawn out now. I think it's hard, but he's the captain. He's going to keep starting. It is what it is, guys. But I'm not happy with how he plays in big games at all.
Me either, bro. Me either. And someone close to him needs to go up to him, grab him by the cheeks, and look at him in the face and go, brother, you haven't been getting these calls from the refs for about 3 seasons. You're not going to get them. You look stupid. Stay on your feet a little bit more, because, man, this is starting. It's getting really bad when the ball gets played into him, or he gets played into space, or he gets like muscled on the back. And fans like me are sitting there in his head going, this guy's going to try and milk a free kick here and it's going to get turned over. And yep, that's exactly what just happened. Like, this is really bad. Like, the predictability for him on the ball sometimes is really, really bad. He just plays for it. And at the end of the day, man, what's up, Doodle? And at the end of the day, man, these refs aren't stupid. They're calculated officials. They talk. They train. Part of their training is understanding the players and the setup. And part of their training is understanding what players are susceptible to milking, what players are susceptible to manipulation. And everybody knows that captains get the rub of the green with referees. It's part of your job. As a captain, you get to talk more. You get to swear and not get a yellow card until you directly swear at the referee. You get to yell and not get a yellow card unless you directly yell at a referee in a tense situation. You get the perks of not being a regular player. But at the same time, you don't get to fuck around with the referee's integrity. And that's what Lautaro does from a game plan perspective. He messes around too much on the ball and he takes horrible dives. Dives to the point where we saw it as a youngster and we thought he'll grow out of this. Nah, he has not grown out of that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then, that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing Mo talks about all the time about Lautaro. It's like, because of his characteristics, because he doesn't have no pace, no real, like, I guess you could say he has a bit of dribbling, but not in the terms of that he can create himself a shooting opportunity with his dribbling. He can't create chances on his own. So on days like this where Inter don't create chances for him, he doesn't have that X factor to, like, create something from outside of the box to just rip one, or to, do something a bit different. unless it's something like, you know, those volleys that he can do sometimes that we know he's amazing at. That's the thing with Lautaro. Even like Thuram today, I think Thuram was not great today either, but he ended up getting the assist, bit of a stat pad assist for Dimarco, is like a 2-yard pass. But because he has a little bit of pace, sometimes now he barely has any pace. I don't know if you've seen Thuram now, Anthony. He does not look like the pacey guy we saw in 2 years back. He looks heavy now, but he still manages to create things just because he's got a little bit of something athletically.
Yeah, I have to agree for the most part there. You know, we've just got a whole bunch of players that look like they could be carrying an extra 20% of productive fitness. I'm just a little bit concerned at the moment with how many people in the chat are talking about injuries to Hakan and Zielinski.
Yeah,
I know
that's
Hakan.
I want to just check.
I knew Hakan. Yeah, I know Hakan walked off a little bit. How you going? So let's definitely check that out, because we've got a lot of matches coming up, man. A lot of matches coming up. I'm trying to look now. Looks like they're actually scheduling
updates here yet on Hakan. Conte obviously didn't turn up for his he didn't do his by the way, he didn't do his pre-match interview either, press conference, and now he didn't turn up for his post-match interview either. So
tests are scheduled for Hakan on Monday.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed, because that's another guy that we still don't really have a replacement for, because Kivu kind of rotates Zielinski and Barella in that position. And also, we must say with Napoli as well, guys, I mean, we talked about it in the match preview, no Anguissa, no Lukaku. I mean, I wouldn't put Gilmer in that. De Bruyne and Neres, the big miss for them this game. So, yeah, I can see why McTominay is kind of... He's picking up his coach's mentality there, by the way. I've never seen a player talk about what players are missing. I've never seen that in my life before, I don't think. So he's picking up the Antonio Conte mentality of making sure everyone knows what weaknesses or what downsides a team has. But yeah, the fact that Napoli once again managed to come to San Siro twice, come back from 1 goal down with all those injuries. We only have Denzel Dumfries out from our injury list. That's massive for Napoli.
Yeah, bro, and he's not wrong. But yeah, you're right. He's definitely rubbed off a little bit from that siege mentality that Antonio Conte really instills into his boys and into his team. But yeah,
quickly wanted to talk about also some of the refereeing decisions. I mean, Juan Jesus somehow got away with no card here with this Nigel de Jong follow up on Marcus Thuram, who actually had to change his T-shirt because Juan Jesus literally took a chunk out of his T-shirt from this tackle, and he maybe should have even got a yellow before this as well, Juan Jesus. By the way, Buongiorno is actually Juan Jesus is getting preferred to Buongiorno these days.
That's wild. That's wild, man. The whole Juan Jesus under Antonio, not even under Antonio Conte, the Juan Jesus at Napoli needs like its own. Like it needs its own testament in the Juan Jesus story. It's like, who is Juan Jesus, bro? There's 2 versions of him. There's pre and post Napoli Juan Jesus, because that's not the same person. Definitely been cloned by the elite and the globalists in charge in order to contribute to the anti-Inter conspiracy in the world. That's my take on the whole thing, because there's nothing else that can explain Juan Jesus at Napoli.
But he's actually playing well. Like, it's not even like you can't even say anything to that. Let me have do you need to go, Anthony?
No, I can stick around for a bit longer.
Okay. Just want to have a quick look at some of Kivu's post-match comments, because he I don't know if you follow his press conferences and interviews. He gives a lot more than Chinzaghi used to give us.
Chinzaghi.
So Kivu says we were stretched out across distances. They circulated the ball very well with McTominay and Lobotka, but Lobotka as well. What a game he had. We got that wrong. I take the players' attitude. They always pressed, even overdoing it at times. We adjusted during the match. In the end, it ended in a draw. The draw is fair based on what we saw. Yeah, fair enough. They were good at finding Højlund. We tried to stay in the match to create situations. We knew Napoli's strengths. We came out little by little. It's a shame we remain with regret. But 2 strong teams were seen that raised the level of Serie A. It will be a point-by-point battle. There are 4 to 5 teams. I don't even know how many points behind we are. I don't know what he means by that. Oh, yeah, they asked him, of course, about the big games. Inter haven't won a big game in 14 matches, Anthony. 14 games.
Kill me.
And he decided to just sidetrack that.
So wait, yeah, you keep looking. I'm going to look at our next one. I'm going to look at our fixtures.
Yeah. I think our next big game would be Arsenal, I think, in the Champions League.
Yeah, but you know me. Right now, I'm only looking at the Serie A. Like right now, we had a real chance today. Like, I'm going to ask you a question today because let's face it, we can't run. Had we won that game today, would we not be sitting here starting to think about mapping out where we can start? Not talking about winning this league, but when we would have been 5 points up today. When you're 5 points up mid-January, knowing too well that this is your main objective, that's when you can't run and hide. That's when you start having to have conversations of, okay, this is clearly the attainable big objective of the season. We're going for this, hell for leather. Let's analyze every single game like a chess move. And it's just unfortunate because I would have loved to have been in that position having this conversation, that conversation with you today. But instead, we're here having the conversation of me pulling up the fixture list and going, damn it, here comes a lot of congestion, injuries. Brother, we could be third in 3 weeks, where we could have probably been well ahead. And had we got that win today, we probably could have been 2 or 3. We could have probably dropped 2 to 3 games in the next month or two and still been first, because I'll make the educated guess that Milan and Napoli would also be dropping points.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've seen them, Milan. They are doing the exact opposite of what we do in terms of doing the job in the big games, but in the smaller teams, they are clearly going to drop points. But
the next one is against Juve on the 16th of February at San Siro.
Oof, okay, so we've got a month till that, so we can stat pad some points till then. That's all right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, as you said, if the win came today, we were looking at a very different table. 45 points for Inter, 5-point gap. Although we have seen this Inter team, I know it was under Inzaghi, but we have seen this Inter team drop a title when we were 7 points ahead of Milan. So we will still be, I'm sure, talking here and saying it's not done yet. We gotta hunker down. It's not done yet, but
of course not. But today, I feel like if I was to put a number on it, today would have given us 15 to 20% in this one game today. It would have shifted a 20% leverage into our favor of Serie A, and that's just monumentally huge. It's the sort of result today where if you're a betting person and you opened up your betting app, you'd see a really stupid number next to Inter to win the league, like $1.12, $1.15, like really, really low. The sort of stuff that only Inter fans would look at and go, that's stupid.
Yeah, no, I agree. But anyway, Anto, I think that's enough conversation. I'm happy with where we're at. Very good. If you're a neutral, I think that was a good game to watch. Fiery as well. 50-50 in possession. Inter beat Napoli in XG, but that was because of the penalty. I think non-penalty XG, let me just check. It should be probably about the same, right? Yeah, 0.6. Actually, Napoli had slightly more non-penalty XG. So, yeah, very, very fair draw, but we take it, we move on, and we finish, as Ian said, we are winter champions, whatever that means. We'll take it. So shouts out to Kivu for the job that he's done once again. I was not expecting this Inter team to be top by 3 points at this stage, so fair play to that. But again, disappointment in a big game, but our first draw of the season, another positive. Any closing comments from you, Anto?
Nah, at the end of the day, we got the draw monkey off our back now. Now it should be all about pretty much winning every winnable game, winning the big games left. At the end of the day, like I said, we're in a position where we can't run and hide. And I can never sit here and say, I think that we're going to win a title. But right now, we can't run and hide. We're going to be in the race right up until the end. So we have to go for it as a big club if you want to be respected as a big club.
Yeah, no, 100%. That was my expectation, was us at least competing for the Scudetto right until the end. And I think we will be doing that. And I think Napoli will be the ones fighting with us until the end. Thank you, everyone, tuning in. Sorry that Scott McTominay ruined our evenings and mornings once again. But it is what it is. He is inevitable. Ciao, ragazzi. Always, Forza Inter. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Di Marco, by the way. Di Marco. We didn't talk about him. Great goal. Ciao.
Ciao.